You woke up this morning, and somewhere between turning off the alarm and reaching for your phone, before the first thought became the second, you already knew exactly who you were going to be today. You didn't decide it. You didn't choose it. It was just there, waiting, like clothes laid out the night before. Think about that. The most important thing about your life, who you are, was decided before you were fully conscious, before coffee, before the mirror, before a single word was spoken. The character loaded automatically, and then you stepped into it, and you wore it all day, and you'll wear it again tomorrow. When was the last time you genuinely surprised yourself? Not a small surprise, not a different lunch order or a spontaneous left turn. I mean, the last time you became someone you didn't recognize. The last time the life around you felt new, not just rearranged, but new. Like waking up in a different atmosphere entirely for most people. That memory is very far away. And here's the question that no one asks loudly enough. Why? You are not unintelligent. You are not unlucky. You are not without desire. You want things, real things. A different life, a different feeling, a different version of the face you see in the bathroom mirror at 11 p.m. when the day has finished using you. And yet, tomorrow you will feel mostly like you felt today. You will think mostly what you thought yesterday. You will be, with minor variations, the same person who is listening to this right now. Not because you lack the will to change, but because something inside you, something far older and far more powerful than your intentions, needs it this way. You are not stuck. You are addicted. The drug you didn't know you were taking. Here is the thing about suffering that no one says directly. It feels terrible, and it also feels like home. There is something happening underneath the psychology, something physical, something chemical, that makes this more than a metaphor. Every emotional state you inhabit regularly, every wave of anxiety in the car, every hollow feeling on Sunday evenings, every flicker of that old shame, triggers a specific chemistry in your body, hormones, signals, a particular internal weather, and your body, over years of repetition, begins to expect it. Not just expect, require. The cells adapt. They build architecture around the signal. And when the signal doesn't come, withdrawal, a strange, sourceless discomfort, a restlessness you can't name, a pull, quiet but insistent, back toward the familiar feeling. Even if the familiar feeling is pain, especially if the familiar feeling is pain. This is why you return to the thought you swore you were done with. Why you replay the conversation that ended 2 years ago, in the shower, in the car, in the silence between tasks, rebuilding it brick by brick as though something might finally be resolved. Why you find yourself again and again in variations of the same situation, different names, different addresses, same feeling. This is not weakness. This is not a character flaw. This is a body that has been trained, slowly, invisibly, through sheer repetition, to call its own suffering normal. And normal, to the nervous system, is the same as safe, and safe is the same as necessary. The addiction isn't to the pain, it's to the familiarity of the pain, and familiarity doesn't care about your goals. The self that refuses to die. Close your eyes for a moment and try to imagine a genuinely different life, not a better version of this one, a different one, different feeling in the morning, different way of moving through a room, different things you notice, different things you fear, different version of your own internal voice. Can you feel it? That resistance, that subtle but unmistakable tightening, as though something inside you is quietly, firmly declining the invitation. That is not laziness. That is the self protecting itself. Every identity, no matter how much it suffers, has one overriding biological instinct: to continue existing. The you that wakes up anxious, the you that shrinks in certain rooms, the you that keeps choosing the same kind of love and wondering why it always ends the same way. That self will fight for its survival with everything it has, not because it wants to suffer, but because transformation means it has to die. And nothing biological, nothing psychological, nothing human dies willingly. There is a concept in depth psychology, The idea that we each carry a shadow self, an accumulated weight of everything we buried, everything we couldn't face, everything we decided we were not allowed to be. And that shadow doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with warnings. It moves quietly. It whispers old fears into new situations. It turns new people into old stories. It stands at the door of every genuine change and asks, in your own voice, who do you think you are? You've heard it. That voice that arrives the moment you decide to be different. The morning after the decision, when everything feels impossible again. The week into the new life, when the old life somehow reconstructs itself around you as though nothing happened. That is not failure. That is the ghost. And the ghost is not your enemy. It is just the part of you that doesn't know the danger has passed. Tomorrow morning, you are going to wake up, and there will be a moment, so brief you could blink past it entirely, between the alarm and the first thought. A gap. A tiny, silent, uncommitted gap. Where the old program has not yet loaded. Where the chemistry of yesterday hasn't yet flooded back. Most people spend that moment reaching for the phone, for the anxiety that tells them they're real, for the storyline that reminds them who they are, for the familiar, because the familiar is right there, and it is warm, and it requires nothing new from them. But that moment that lasts maybe 3 seconds if you're generous, is the most important moment in your entire day, because in that moment, you are nobody, and nobody can become anybody. You are not trapped by what happened to you. You are trapped by the emotions you kept alive after it happened. And emotions are not permanent. They are practiced, which means the most radical thing you can do, more radical than any decision, any move, any external reinvention, is to feel differently, on purpose, in the dark, before anything changes. That is how it starts. Not with the life changing first, with you changing first. Always, only, you.